What's good, guys? How y'all doing? And welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, I am fully aware that I haven't uploaded for quite some time, but for real, it's not that important. I'll explain the details in another video. If anything, I've just been quite busy all around, and also just late July and early August are probably the worst times of the year to be a hockey YouTuber, sheerly just because of the fact that there's literally nothing to talk about in terms of news, rumors, speculation, or anything along the lines of that. Like, the way I look at it is kind of just this dry period where it's just a little bit too early to talk about actual games and training camp, and also just the hype of the expansion draft, entry draft, free agency frenzy have all just incredibly decreased. But if there is anything positive to take out of this, it does open up an opportunity to make more creative videos that don't really follow the same script or linearity that the news-related videos follow. And alas, here we are with my second installation of why I believe Tim Stützle is the better player than Alexis Lafreniere. Now, I have made one of these videos at about the midway point of last year's season, and one of the main critiques that I got in that video was mainly from just people that said it was much too early to actually judge these two players in the NHL. And I mean, although I haven't really served the greatest justice here, as it is still quite early to create an established opinion on these players, I think after having one season under their belts, it seems like a pretty decent benchmark to make another one of these videos to act as, I guess you could say, a check-in. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please be respectful of both my and other people's opinions. Hit that like and subscribe button if you are new, and your favorite NHL team will have a guaranteed pass of making the playoffs. No, like I'm serious. Just test it out. Even Sabres fans, even Coyotes fans, you guys have just acquired Louis the Empty Net Assassin Eriksson. If that isn't an indicator, then I don't know what is. And you can come after me at the end of the regular season, but just trust me on this one. Anyways, on to the actual video. Now, what I actually want to do here is break this analysis down into segments rather than just spew out random information that compares the two players. And I think it would be quite necessary to start off with something objective like the stats that each player put up this past NHL season. Starting off with Alexis, this season he put up 12 goals, 9 assists for 21 points in 56 games, which isn't actually that bad considering how bad of a start he had in January and February. I mean, he averaged 13 minutes and 53 seconds per game on a third-line role with Brett Howden and Capo Caco, and did not start on the power play. Tim Stützle, on the other hand, managed to put up 12 goals and 17 assists for 29 points in 53 games played. He played an average of 15 minutes and 44 seconds per game, so he was obviously trusted more by his coaches to not only play him more, but to play him in more important situations, as he also started on the power play early on in the season, along with beginning to be injected as a regular top 6 starter on the Sens. Over the course of those 53 games, Stützle took 111 shots as opposed to Lafreniere's 67 in 56 games, proving him to be a lot more opportunistic on the ice. Alright, so after evaluating these stats, it looks like Stützle completely wipes the board with 3 games to spare, but I forgot the one exception being plus-minus, which goes to Laf by a margin of -7 to -18, so I mean, both not really good in that area, but I don't really consider it much a personal stat as much a team one, because I mean, 5 players on the ice plus a goalie, it's not always Stützle or Lafreniere's fault that a puck is going in the net. And plus, Stützle played on a considerably worse team that was in the running for last place until they had this random spark near the end of the year in comparison to the Rangers, who were in and out of a playoff spot all year long. Other than that, there really isn't that much to emphasize, and as they say, stats don't lie, so this round has to go to Stützle. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the confidence that both these players showed us as highly touted rookies this past season. Obviously, getting picked first and third, there's going to be a great level of pressure. I mean, fans are going to expect you to do well, put up numbers, and contribute to the team's success, regardless of how young you are as an 18-year-old coming into the league. And I remember saying something similar in the last video, but both these players have all the tools in the world to be great players in the NHL. I mean, we've seen it all throughout their junior careers, but it's up to their mentality that ultimately deciphers what they do with that talent on the great NHL stage. And as we saw all last season, it just seemed like Lafreniere lacked the same confidence on the puck that he had when he was in the QMJHL and in the World Juniors. Something about him was off. He looked scared to do something ambitious or creative. Why? Well, I'm not exactly sure, but maybe he was scared of getting rocked, or maybe he was just scared of receiving the criticism from certain fans if he tried something different. My best guess, though, has to do with the coaching. I think that he was afraid to make the mistakes that would lead to the coaches perhaps benching him or even scratching him. I mean, he was already on the third line. It's not like he had much breathing room in the top six. I think he felt that if he screwed up on the worst line he could have been on, then there wouldn't be anywhere else for him to go than either the press box or the AHL, like his fellow draftee Quinton Byfield. But, I mean, still, don't take that as factual information. That's just what I theorize. I mean, after all, I do think that David Quinn did a terrible job managing his young stars, kind of like the 2019 second overall pick Capo Caco, and I mean, it may have been a key contributor to the lack of confidence that Laf displayed on the ice. If there is one positive thought, though, I think Gallant has the capability to implement the youngsters in a much better way, so Rangers fans, I wouldn't get too concerned just yet. It just appeared to me that tzle looked so much more confident out there. It's like he wasn't scared at all to move the puck or take the risks that had the potential to backfire against him. I saw this a lot against teams like the Canucks, Flames, and Leafs, and he reminded me a lot of Canucks player Nils Höglander. Just a feisty guy that loved getting into battles and didn't care if he was getting mismatched by someone bigger or stronger than him. And honestly, that swagger out there just really shows to be a good sign where as a coach, you'll just be like, okay, this is good. How about we explore the idea of challenging him to play in scenarios that contain higher stakes, such as the power play or with 2 minutes left being down a goal? And as we can see, that didn't really seem to be an issue for tzle to deal with as he put up 4 power play goals and 9 power play points. And I mean, don't just treat this like a video of me just praising tzle like he's the next best thing, which if I'm being honest, I don't think he will be, but the difference in the way both these players maneuvered on a game-to-game basis throughout the year was just so incredibly different. I thought tzle looked so much better putting up more points, getting better scoring chances, taking more chances and risks, shooting double shots than Laf, going hard to corners with the confidence that he'd be the one to end up with the puck, and never giving up despite playing on the clearly worst team. I mean, I don't know. I just think that from a coaching standpoint, Gallant is going to play a crucial role to get these guys like Kakko, like Lafreniere back to their scoring ways. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's going to be difficult to dig these players out of the holes they're currently in. As for tzle, yes, he's definitely far from perfect, but I think that despite not receiving a Calder nomination, he is on the fast track to becoming a dominant young player in this league. I'd give him about 2 to 3 more years before we can begin to see what he's really all about. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on who you think is going to have the better year for 2022, and let me know which 2 players you want me to put head-to-head in the future in this style of video. Would love to know your thoughts. Subscribe, stay safe, and have a good day, guys. Peace.